Hi everyone, for today's video I'm going to be talking to you about this lens here, and it is my very beautiful Sigma 24mm lens, and it comes with this little petal hood. Now there's positives to this lens and there's negatives, as there are with any sort of lens, and I'm going to start with the positives and then I'll talk you through the negatives. Now the positive thing, as you can see there, it's very small compared to your thumb. Your thumb is the majority of it. Now take off the caps so you can see. Okay, that's the size of it there. Consider the size of your thumb next to it, or your finger thickness. It's about 2 or 3 fingers. It's about 2 or 3 fingers tall, I suppose, and it's not really that wide either. It's got a 52mm thread on the front. That's the size of the optics. As you can see, that it's just a very nice looking lens. It's got a metal mount on the bottom, which is obviously one of the positives that I'm going to be talking about. The focusing system, got your automatic and manual focus switch there. When taken to manual, you can see here that, hang on, I can't do this. You can see here it extends, and it extends when it focuses, which isn't the best in the world, but when you consider how much is actually extended, it's less than your fingernail size. So that's not too bad. The other positive about it is this distance window, which also lets you see where you're focused at, and it gives you the hyperfocal distance as well for the different f-stops, and it goes up to f22, this lens does, and the maximum aperture on it is f2.8. Which isn't too bad. It's fast enough for most situations. It's okay. And it also comes with this petal hood. It says on it Sigma Perfect Hood, made in Japan. Yeah, it's just a little hood, except it's got these pinchy sides to it, as you can see here, which you pinch and stick over the top, and it simply just fits over and sort of clicks. It's in place, and undo, and off it comes. It's quite a solidly made lens as well. It's the bottom is plastic, obviously. Most lenses are, unless you're going to pay mega bucks for it. But this lens only costs, I got it for £56, I believe, and obviously it's used, but it's just obviously dead clean. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But it as a lens, it's just so beautiful. It fits on your camera so nicely. And obviously the metal mount, it shows that it means business. And it also, it's obviously direct EF mount, it's not through adapters and stuff like that. But to talk you now through the negatives, I suppose one negative could be that it's got a 52mm thread on it. It's quite a small optic at the front. You can see there, it's not a very big optic. Now that could be a negative, but also it is a positive because there's less damage possible. F2.8, it's good, don't get me wrong, it's good. However, some lenses would be better off being a little bit faster. Maybe if this was, I don't know, even 2.4, if not 1.8, it'd be perfect. Another negative to it is 24mm, which is wide if it's on a full frame camera. However, it's on my crop camera, so it's more like 30 something. It's not bad, 30 something. Another issue with it is the automatic focus switch here. It's very strong. You can hear it. It's really hard to push, and it does get stuck. I don't know if that's just because it's well built, or if it's too well built for that matter. Another problem with it is obviously this hood. Because it has the pinchy sides, you can't fit your lens cap in there. So you can't keep the hood on for storage because the lens cap is in the way, and it's side pinching cap as well instead of top pinching, if you know what I mean. You can't pinch from above, you've got to pinch from the sides. So that's another problem. Now, I know it doesn't sound like much of a problem by saying it has automatic focus. However, the automatic focus isn't a very fast one. It's a mechanical focus. Okay, it's not bad. It's your kit lens standard of focus, and it doesn't really have Oh, that's the wrong way. And it doesn't really have far to focus anyway. So it should cover that nice and fast, shouldn't it? But no, it doesn't. It goes from 0.18 meters all the way to 2 meters for hidden infinity. So it doesn't cover a very vast area. So most things, if you're shooting out on the streets, or if you're doing a portrait, not that you will be doing portraits 24, most things are going to be at infinity, which is fine. Don't get me wrong, it's fine if you take a photo of the inside of a church or inside of a building. You want most things to be in focus. However, sometimes it would just be nice to be able to not have things in focus. I'm going to swap the lenses on the camera for this lens now, and straight away you're going to know what's wrong with it. Yeah, I'm going to put it on and you'll see now. Let's give this a go. Naughty me, shouldn't be doing that. Okay, well the first thing to note is how wide out I am now. You know, from that 50mm lens here, that's all you could see, this bit here. And now you put on the 24, and obviously you can see right out, which is good, you know, great, yeah, happy with that. It is nice and wide. However, now the problems, it can only be used at f2.8. It has the ability to go to f22, but only works up to 2.8. Now that's because the lens contacts, the little metal bits on the back, you know, the gold chips, it was designed before it knew that the cameras exist, if that makes sense. The cameras have their own little chip bit inside, which is obviously an updated one, and the lens has an older dated one, so it doesn't actually know that they exist. So it can't use a different aperture because the pin doesn't hit the aperture part of the mount, and that's really, really annoying because you can only use f2.8. However, you know, I don't mind, I'll use f2.8, it's fine. Most things are in infinity scale anyway. Like right now I'm at 0.7 meters and I'm almost at infinity there. The only other markings left are 1 meter and 2 meter. And as you can see here, this camera is out of focus. So let me just switch it over to manual. Let's see how fast I can get this into focus. There you go. See, it's just a very small touch and it's in focus and back again. But as you can see, as the focus changes, the size of your subject changes as well. It's got a lot of that. It's more of a problem really for some things. Obviously some people like it, some people don't. I'd rather it all stay the same. I'm perfectly honest. Yeah, I think that's in focus there, I can't really tell. So yeah, the issue with it is that it's stuck to 2.8. So this is in focus, that's out. Oh well, I'll live with it, you know, it's only 50 quid. But here's the next problem. Now switch it back to automatic focus. Now listen to this. You know, what's that noise? What is that noise? Now you put it, let me change back to manual and stick it on the minimum focus distance. There you go. And now let's put it in automatic and let it go back. Now listen to the noise and how much it hunts. You know, see that's a long time and it makes a horrible scratchy noise. It's that noise. But anyway, so that's one problem with it. The automatic focus works, but it sounds like it's carving up the insides of your camera, if I'm perfectly honest. Now, when I first put this lens on my camera, I thought, oh God, it's really tight to get on the mount. And I just thought, oh God, that's not good, or it's not fitting properly, or, you know, it's not right. It's broken in some way, shape or form. But after a few times of taking it on and off and on and off and on and off, you know, you wear it down a little bit and it fits perfectly fine now. You know, it slides on, slides off, just like any other EF mount. Or EFS mount for that matter. Now I'm just going to take this off my tripod and I will show you it in action of how close I can get it to focus. Now, if I'm here, which is very close, there you go, it's in focus. Obviously I'm hand holding this so it will jump in and out of what's seen as across such a shallow depth of field. But that there is at this minimum focus distance thing. Let's try and get as close as I can. No, that's obviously too close for it. You can hear the noise it's making. It's a horrible noise. So that's their minimum, and then if I move it there, that's how fast / slow it is from one end to the other when it hunts and can find stuff properly. Let's try that there. And as you see there, it keeps getting darker and brighter and darker and brighter while it's deciding if the aperture is right. It's not the best automatic focus, as you can tell. It's really not the best whatsoever. Let's get back my tripod and get it to do a lovely scratchy focus. There you go. So that's that, basically. That's my Sigma AF super wide 52mm lens. As you can see, there's no chromatic aberrations there. Obviously I am in video, so with photos you do get a different perspective. Don't get flare with it. As you can see, this room is very, very bright right now. This is looking bleach white, and it's more of a sort of creamy white. Same as the walls. The walls are creamy white, but they're looking bleach. Like you can see down here in this shadow here, that's the actual colour of the wall. But obviously it's the shadow cast by these. With the lenser attached, you can't really see any difference. I'm going to attach it just to see. There we go, so it's just no difference. It's exactly the same with and without. Oh, I can't get it off now. There you go. As you see, it's no difference there, is it? But yeah, that's that. You can see distortion here. My hand is that shape. And when I pull it to the end, oh, see it there on my this finger, sort of moving slightly. But do you know what? I'm just picking there. It is a lovely lens. It is a really lovely lens. I'm happy with it. I'm not too fond of the automatic focus being a bit scratchy, but to be honest, I hardly ever use automatic focus as it is. I manual focus most things. Lens caps, you know, it's just a bog standard ones, and side pinchy front cap, but do you know, it doesn't really matter, does it? Now this lens cost me £56, as I said, or £50 or thereabouts. I'm happy enough with it. I would recommend getting one, if I'm honest with you, even though you can only use it at f2.8, and you can obviously have that lovely carving noise coming from the automatic focus. But I definitely would recommend it. It is a beautiful lens. It fits in your hand. It's nice and small. It doesn't weigh anything. It works. It really works. There's hardly any flare. There's hardly any distortion. There's nothing wrong with it, apart from the aperture control. But who cares? Use it in manual. There's not really much else I can say about this, really. The magnification level of the macro isn't really that much. It's so minimal. It's like 0.3 or something, so it's hardly even worth mentioning. But yeah, that's the lens. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye bye.